Alrighty, welcome back. So, short update, I hope. Well, I hope it's short on assault on Gallipoli. I got through the first term pretty much, and in fact, I've got this close assault thing here to do. I resolved it and got an odd result, and I'm a little curious about how assault could or should work. Get to that in a second. So as you can see, the board, despite the size of the board, right, and obviously we're dealing with the first day action and the landing and counterattack here is what the scenario is for assault on Gallipoli. So it's very crowded, and in fact, some of these areas are pretty tight, particularly when you want to have 6 units in an area. So it gets there's actually a little bit of fiddling going on here. Now, what's interesting and pleasing to me is that obviously all the alternating activations and all those mechanics work really well. I'm finding the fire, well, I'll call them the fire mechanics, the fire rules, just a little odd because there's this tendency, for me at least, and so it's a 3-turn scenario, right? And there are these cards that I want to play as the Turks to maximize the value of my counterattack, and so I need to be in position to do that and at full strength before I go ahead and sort of dive in, right? Now, having said that, I got to close, but as I close, so let's see, so this area here, these chaps were in this space, I believe, and we move these guys in to reinforce. But when you move in, you're flipping your units over to say, okay, they've moved. Well, now they're obviously at a reduced firepower capability, but they're often at a reduced number of steps. So he's a 3 when he's fresh, but when he's spent, he's got 2 steps. Now, from the way I'm seeing it, if I fire at these guys and let's say these guys weren't here, I fire at these guys because they moved in. Well, I've got a very different situation for losses now. If I got to take 1 loss, I'm going to make that a remnant, which is significantly weaker. Where is a remnant? Do I have one here somewhere? Yeah, here we go. So it's going to be a 1-2 versus. And it's on its fresh side, right? Versus a 2-2, and then if I had to take 2 losses and it was the only guy in the area, then I'm losing the unit. The unit's eliminated, but it's just not fresh. So I'm just I first find this a little odd in that I don't have I start out with a full strength unit. I move it, it loses a third of its strength points equivalent. That's barring all abstraction, right? So I'm 1/3 my strength down. I get shot at, I could lose, so that might take me down another third. And then I guess at the end of the turn, I'm flipping over back to my fresh side, so we start a new turn. Now I'm going to have a unit that is on its fresh side, has a strength of 1 and a range of 2 versus, well, these are only 2 2s, okay, so a strength of 2 and range of 2, but some of these guys are much stronger. Well, there's a 3-3, maybe they're all okay, so they're all 2s, but so I've lost 50% of my firepower, even as a remnant, and it just felt a little weird, a little unusual. And then there's the interesting thing where if I take my naval units here, and if I'm firing in certainly at long range, but even a little bit closer, where the benefits here for the defense of deep trenches is very significant. So when I want to shoot something, I have to roll a 4 or less. But if I have deep trenches, now I've got to roll a 2 or less on a D10. So that doesn't give me many chances to inflict some damage. And with the vagaries of a D10 system, that can be painful, but it also encourages you to just fire away, right? Fire as many times as you can, because if I've got 10 factors coming in here with these 2 units here, if I fired those, that's going to be 10 dice being rolled. So, you know, it all should kind of work out, I guess. But they're just, it's an odd fire mechanic that I'm having a little trouble coming to grips with. The other thing that I resolved was in this hex here, and I left all the units. I guess I was going to move the camera up a little bit. Whoops, pardon me for the nudging, bumping. Where was it? Here, right? Yeah, so I've got, that's a victory location. This area, Happy Valley, has a reduced unit because he fired opportunity fire as these guys closed. And, you know, they put 1 or 2 step losses on. Anyway, the way this is going to work out here for the close assault is that we're going to have close to, it's going to be 9 combat factors I think I had in here, so that means we're going to get 18 cards, these combat cards, right? 18 of these guys. Let me zoom out a little bit. And these guys are going to get 2, right? And in fact, I think they get 3 for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the trenches or whatever, but they ended up with 3. And what ended up happening was that the defender, I think they played a card or whatever that happened, they got to flip a card first, and the attacker had to match. Well, I flipped, what did I flip? What was it? Creeping Barrage. Well, out of those 18 cards that were available to the attacker, they did not have a Creeping Barrage. So this basically, let's call it 9-1. This 9-1 attack occurred, and I guess through, you know, conceptually, through fluke or happenstance, they failed. So that attack is going to get rejected, and they're going to have to retreat, I guess. So they'll retreat 2 areas and go back. Just another unusual result. Now, maybe that is not typical. I haven't done any other assaults, but we'll see. So on to turn 2, just sharing some as we play circumstances here, and we'll see what happens from now on. I'll talk to you guys soon. Ciao. What else? No, I think that's it. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao.